Am I the asshole for telling my dad's wife I'm not visiting their new house? I, 22 female, have a rocky relationship with my dad, 54 male, and his wife, 53 female. They've been together since I was 8 and got married when I was 18. She made my life hell, constantly trying to undermine my mother's parenting and getting mad when I didn't call her mom. Recently they moved into a new house about 30 minutes from my mother's 51F house where I'm currently living due to financial issues. Now they are wanting me to visit them and I keep telling them no cause I'm busy with work. His wife called me the other day and said I should be visiting my father. I snapped at her saying she and my dad nearly missed my college graduation back in May of this year. My dad says I'm the asshole for snapping at her and I could have handled it better. My mother is on my side and she says I shouldn't have to bend over backwards for people who were barely there for me growing up. Not the asshole. You're an adult. Visit, not visit, it's entirely at your discretion. You don't have to lie. You can be honest why. If there's any chance at repair, just be honest. If you don't want them in your life, cut them out. Do whatever you want. Not the asshole, don't go if you don't want to. But, nearly missed. Sounds ridiculous. Just tell them you don't want to and to back off. One perk of being an adult is getting to choose how much contact you want to have with shitty parents. Not the asshole, your stepmother is being immature and doesn't get to throw a fit that you aren't close, even though she wasn't a positive parental figure to start off with. Not the asshole. You are an adult, do you decide what if any relationship you have with your father? First of all, he's a shit dad solely for not putting a stop to her trying to make you call her mom when you were a kid. Secondly, it's not like he can't come visit you. Not the asshole. She sounds awful. I'd do the same. Your dad can get in the bin too. Would I be the asshole if I told my friend that just because someone's my friend doesn't make them her friends? My friend, 31F, is getting really upset with me, 31F, because she's not being invited to my friends' houses, gatherings, but they don't even know her. A prime example is last month was a friend's 30th and she wasn't invited. I tried to gently explain he's only inviting those he's close with, but she got upset saying they would be close if I just take her as my +1. She then began messaging him over social media for an invite until he blocked her, followed by him flat out telling me not to bring her. She then proceeded to comment on every photo, post about the party with negative comments or questions why I was dressed the way I was. She thinks because he blocked her he's clearly a bad person and I shouldn't be his friend, but that's just not how that works. Would I be the asshole if I just bluntly tell her no, they are my friends, they don't have to be your friends too? I feel so childish because this whole situation is silly, but it's her insistence that's putting others off, plus her need to bring up things from the past around people who are strangers to her. YWNBTA. People have friendships that don't overlap, it's normal. I've had a best friend for over 40 years, we met when we worked together in our 20s. She has other close friends too, I've never met them in all those years. She talks about them and I know a little about their lives, but that's as far as it goes. I have no interest in getting to know those friends as we wouldn't have much in common and we have no shared history. I'm surprised your friend hasn't realized this at her age. Long-standing friendships can't be forged overnight by definition. Nah, you 100% would not be the asshole here. I'm sorry to say, but your friend has serious boundary issues. I would be fuming if I found out someone had done this to me. Are you her only friend? At 31 she should already know this. But yes, you definitely need to tell her that just because you two are friends doesn't automatically make all your friends hers. I read this, then I had to double back to check if you were 15. But no, she's 31. She needs professional help. Not the asshole, YWNBTHE asshole. Honestly, in a 31-year-old this lack of emotional maturity is a little scary. Personally, I'd tell them bluntly. This behavior is psycho and I think you need therapy. Just because someone is friends with me doesn't mean they're friends with you. And when they inevitably react badly to that, just feel confident that distancing yourself from them is the right decision. Are you sure that this is a relationship you want to continue at all yourself? Her interactions with your friends being aggressive, then followed by anger at being unfairly rejected, really though, are pretty big issues. At this point, even if you were willing to introduce her to your friends, it would potentially end your other friendships if you did that, because I can't see her behaving appropriately, to say the least. You aren't her guardian angel. A friendship shouldn't be hard work like this. Friends don't need to overlap. I have a feeling that she thinks your other friendships with people would make you step away from her in the long run, and the only way for her, which she thinks in her head, to still be good friends in the long run is being friends with your friends. YWNBTA. I'm sorry, but her reaction is not normal. There is no social obligation from your friends to be her friends. Her messaging him for an invite is unhinged. Who messages a total stranger for an invite to the party? Take this as a learning lesson. What's next? She's going to try and sabotage your friendships. Am I the asshole for not inviting my estranged brother to my wedding? For context, my brother, 26M, and I, 31F, have been estranged for years. He has always been arrogant, self-absorbed, and unapologetic about past behavior. Growing up, our mother, 62F, constantly played favorites. He was the golden child, and he thrived in that role. The last time we spoke, we had a major argument. He has never shown any remorse, and I've made peace with not having a relationship with him. I, 31F, am a foreign MD working in the US and getting married to my American fiancée, 33M, in early 2026. My family lives in my home country, and so we are finalizing our guest list as it will be a destination wedding. My mother insists on letting my brother come along when she found out that he did not know I was already getting married. She then insisted that I invite him to the wedding, not sure if this was his or purely her idea, even asking me to provide an invitation letter to help his chances of getting a tourist visa. I respectfully told her no. Aside from our personal history, the reality is he's still a student with very few ties to home, so I doubt he would even qualify for a visa on his own. My parents, who already have valid visas and have visited me before, offered to be his guarantor and that my invitation letter would help him out. Personally, I don't want him to have access to me, and I refuse to let him benefit from me. My mom argued that he could stay at a separate hotel and that she just wanted the whole family together. I explained that I don't feel comfortable with him being at my wedding and that I don't want to deal with that stress on what should be a special day. I told her that by insisting on his presence, she was only reinforcing my feelings that she prioritizes his feelings over mine. She kept pressing, saying that relatives would talk badly if my brother wasn't invited. I finally told her that if she insisted, then she could also consider herself uninvited. That led to a blow-up where she accused me of being ungrateful, as Asians are big on indebtedness to family law. Even reminding me that she and my father helped pay for my exams, expensive as an international medical graduate. She said the least I could do was grant her this one wish. I then exasperatedly told her that I would think about it. Am I the asshole for refusing to invite my brother? Is there a reasonable compromise here, or should I stand my ground? Blank. Update in comments below, backhand index pointing down, light skin tone. No. You don't think about it. No is no. She doesn't get to hold the exams over your head. That was a decision they made as adults and as your parents. Not leverage so they can boundary stomp you. This is not your mom's day. Who gives a fuck if she just wants her family together? Your wedding isn't about her. She can take it as it is or leave it. Not the asshole. Don't bend. Not the asshole and stay your ground. Of course your mother will insist on her nonsense, it's her golden child. But it's not yours. So I tell my mother, your son is not invited and that's final. This is not a family reunion, this is my wedding. If you want the family together, make a meeting at our home country and I might attend, or not. I don't have a relationship with your son nor I want one. I am positive the relatives already know about the situation, so they are already talking. I will make it very clear to her that you don't consider him your brother, but her son. Less than I then exasperatedly told her that I would think about it. Pushover. You let yourself get manipulated. And you know it. Not the asshole. Mother, I've thought about it. And even though I am heartbroken that to you my wishes and feelings for my fiancés and my wedding day have no value to you, I am going to grant you your wish to have brother near you that day. I have made reservation at name restaurant near your mother's house, so you can stay home with brother and celebrate my day just with him. Enjoy your dinner. If you let your mom manipulate you at your wedding and at your age, she will be manipulating you for rest of her life. You have to stand up to her pressure from now on to make an independent life with your future husband. I know in Asia family is very important, but you're marrying an American and living in America. For the most part family doesn't control you after you marry. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your special day. I'm Hispanic and Catholic, which means family will tend to be very involved in the wedding. I wanted our wedding to be simple and fun endeavor, so we decided to marry in a Lutheran ceremony, wife is white and Lutheran, and take control of the wedding and guest as both sets of parents were getting a bit nuts with the guest list. Our wedding ended up being simple and, according to the guests, one of the most fun they've attended. It is your day and it should be how you want it. Not the asshole for not inviting estranged brother, but I would definitely want to dope slap you hard for giving in to your mother's manipulation. There is nothing to think about. Your wedding, your day, your call, who gets to be there. A wedding is not a family reunion of some sorts. She can't hold that exam she and your dad willingly paid back then. They did it for you should be the premise. Not to become some leverage, for your brother's sake, over your head. Just proves he's the golden child alright and your mom played G favorites. Am I the asshole for wanting to spend Christmas morning with just me, my 2-year-old and husband? This feels so ridiculous and I didn't think I'd have to argue with my husband over it. Let me start out by saying I absolutely adore my in-laws. They're the nicest people you will ever meet. They respect boundaries completely, and when it comes to my child, they treat her amazingly. So this isn't a matter of me doing anything to be spiteful against them or not liking them and trying to avoid them. Also want to note that last year, his aunt, who lives in the same community as his parents, lost her husband on December 27, so this will be her first Xmas alone. I have been with my husband for 15 years. His parents lived in Arizona and then moved to a place 2.53 hours away from us. Just about every single year we have spent Christmas and Thanksgiving with them at their house, as it's much bigger than ours. Only exception to this from 2010 to 2022 was I went to Florida by myself twice for Christmas. September 2023 my daughter was born. They came that day to the hospital to meet her. We did her first Thanksgiving and Christmas with them. They come see her every few months or we go there. They come for her birthdays, so they see her often. Last year, 2024, we went to see my dad in Florida. We had originally planned, when I was pregnant, that we would try to split Christmas every other year between families. However, after a not-so-fun experience last year, sick baby and just hate traveling on holidays, I said we'd more than likely just stick to our own coast for holidays. Here's the issue. I really want that excitement of waking up at our own house on Christmas morning, just me, my daughter and husband, and opening presents together while videoing the whole experience. A new tradition for just us, like I had growing up with my parents when I was a kid. I told my husband this and he's acting like I'm the most evil person to have ever existed. I proposed his parents stay where they are and do Christmas Eve with his aunt so she's not alone, and I said for us to do Xmas morning here and then we can drive out to them and spend the rest of the day, plus a few extra, with his parents. We would be at their house about 12 p.m. 1 p.m. He's telling me I'm extremely selfish and trying to hurt his parents for no reason. That our daughter is only this age for so long and his parents should get to experience that with her, and I have no reason to take this away from them. I'm not trying to be evil. I'm well aware my daughter is only young for so long, and that's why I want these moments with her without other people there. So am I the asshole for wanting to start new traditions and spend literally only Xmas morning, a few hours, with just my own kid and husband? Am I being unreasonable? Wow, you're evil for taking this away from his parents? What about you and what you want? She is your kid FFS. I came from a house where I had Christmas morning with my mom, afternoon with my dad and steps, then evening at my godmother's house. I hated it. When I got married it got worse. When our child arrived, we said we're not going anywhere. Our child will wake up in his own bed Christmas morning. Anyone and everyone were welcome to come over. My mom used to come over after midnight mass and spend the night. In-laws would arrive around noon and spend the whole day. No one ever complained and they always showed up with food. Not the asshole. Hubby needs to remember who he created this baby with. Not the asshole. You are not being unreasonable. It sounds like your husband and in-laws haven't really internalized that it is normal to start separating yourself from your parents' traditions and start forming your own, especially once you have kids. My husband's mom had real problems coming to grips with the fact that when his brother and his wife had kids that they wanted to spend each holiday with her family every second year. So like odd years Christmas with her parents, even years with his. And that there were times when they just wanted to have time as the two of them and their two kids without either set of in-laws. My mother-in-law took it as a personal affront and things got rather frosty for several years, and that was with my brother-in-law fully supporting her. I thought most families' mom, dad, kids had Christmas morning at home, then went to designated extended family location for dinner, supper. Unless you were traveling a long distance or by plane, then you would want to arrive before Christmas in case of weather or plane delays. Not the asshole. My husband and I had the same challenges around holidays and travel. We officially declared Christmas a no-travel holiday. Anyone who wants to come see us is welcome to come on over after the presents are opened, but otherwise we do our own thing, and for this exact reason we want to have our own traditions. I think you offered a very reasonable compromise. The other compromise would be for his family to come to your house and you host Christmas Day so you can still have your traditions and such, and he can also have his blood family there. The difference between what you proposed and what he wants is only a few hours. Why is that big of a deal? Why would his parents' Christmas going be ruined if you were going over there around noon? Your husband sounds a bit dramatic to me. Not the asshole. Your husband is being completely unreasonable with the compromise of visiting them the afternoon of Christmas Day. Makes me wonder what their expectations are for every other holiday? Are you going to be expected to drive to their town when your daughter starts trick-or-treating for Halloween so they can see your costume? What about Easter egg hunts? Mother's Day? Info. Did your husband's family do that when he was a child, go to the grandparents until he became an adult? I just wonder if he's clinging to this idea because he has fond memories of the same from his childhood and wants your daughter to have that. You're still not the but trying to understand why he's in such a tiff about a reasonable compromise.